Aviation podcast is presented as entertainment, not flight instruction. Though some participants are certified flight instructors, their comments, opinions, and discussions of flying techniques are theirs alone. None of the co-hosts or guests on this podcast are acting as your flight instructor. Please consult your own CFI for guidance on your specific flight training, aeronautical knowledge, and aircraft operation. This is the Stuck Mic AvCast, an aviation podcast about learning to fly, living to fly, and loving to fly.
Welcome to the Stuck Mic AvCast. My name is Carl Valerian. I'll be your host today. This is the podcast about learning to fly, living to fly, and loving to fly. And one of the things we love to do is come up with lists, especially during the holiday season. And today, we're going to come up with a great list of gifts that you can give to your favorite aviator, or maybe potential aviator, or just somebody who just loves aviation. And that is our holiday gift guide for 2024 and into the season here. It's going to be December 1st here, and we are really excited to do this because one of the things we love to do is buy gadgets and stuff like that for the holidays and for ourselves and also for our friends out there. Joining me today is Leslie Cobble and also Bill English and Chris Bazzala. Hey guys, how's it going today?
Great. Happy holidays to everybody.
Happy holidays is right. I should have said that. This is going to be a great episode. One of the things that I think is terrific is the fact that we have this passion for aviation and we love to share it. And we love to share it not just in the things that we give to people, but also in the experiences we have with people. And I'd like to start this off, not just the things that we want to get for our people and our friends, but also think about what does the holiday season mean to you as far as aviation is concerned. We all, when we think of the holidays and we think of aviation, we have this view sometimes that pops in our head. And if I said that to you and something popped in your head, then that's where your happy place is a lot of times, is that spot that pops in your head. So I'm going to start this off, and I kind of didn't brief the co-hosts too much on this one, is what we think of during the holidays when we think of aviation. And for me, I'll start off, it's actually a time where, I think about the flying Santas. Now, remember, I grew up in New Jersey. I did most of my flying in New Jersey. So we actually had, Santa Claus come in. And also the big part was the fact that the skies were so clear and blue when the pilots would fly in or the helicopter would fly in and drop gifts and things like that. We had a flying Santa out of Wyoming Valley Airport, which is in Pennsylvania, and up in the Scranton area, Wilkes-Barre-Scranton area, and also Solberg Airport. I used to love to watch the flying Santas come in there. So that's something I kind of think of during the Christmas time. The other thing I think of, and this goes back to where the whole passion of aviation came about, is, and I know I'm going to get some feedback on this, is Newark Airport. I know. Who thinks of Newark Airport during Christmas? But you got to remember, I grew up right near Newark Airport. And as a little kid, my babysitter would actually take us to the terminal. Remember the days you go to the terminal and walk all the way out to the furthest point where there's windows, and we'd see like either the snow was coming down or it was a clear night, like I said, and watch all the big airplanes taking off and landing, and even some of the turboprops taking off and landing. Yes, I know I'm that old. But that was actually just such a neat time of year. I found out later, actually, it was because my babysitter just wanted to get us out of the house because we were bugging the heck out of her. But besides that, that was just such a special moment to be able to share that time with my babysitter to this day, who I talk to, and the fact that I got to see all these people wandering on the airport and just excited to go to places with gifts in their hands and dressed up for the season. So anyway, so that's what I think about when I think about the holidays and flying: clear skies, flying Santas, and Newark Airport. So Leslie, we're going to go to you next. What do you think about during the holidays when you think of aviation and the holidays?
Well, for me in my personal life, at Christmas time and the holidays, it's a time, where we're celebrating the reason for the season. And that translates into aviation. And for many of us, and we practice this throughout the year, but especially during the holiday time, is paying it forward to other people. And there's so many ways that we do that very well as pilots. I just want to give us all collectively a pat on the back for that. So whether it's, something that I've been involved with in Hawaii is taking Christmas cookies up to our tower controllers, or to the search and rescue departments on our local airports. And it's just such a fun time. You get, like a tower tour with it. Also, if you know somebody that's very interested in aviation, maybe giving them some kind of small scholarship or paying for a discovery flight for somebody to get them going in pursuing their dreams. And it's always traditionally a busier time for us as flight instructors or as flight school owners because people are giving those discovery flights. But there's like a vibe and an excitedness in the air. And it's just a lot of fun. The spirit of Christmas is all around. And it's just a fun and exciting time to fly.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's so cool that, you think about the things that really get us excited during the holiday season, what we remember as far as aviation. When I was watching you, I could see the smile on your face. And that's kind of the most important thing to me, is just seeing people be happy like yourself during the holiday season. I kind of want to put that in there too. But thanks for that. Next, Bill, when you think of aviation in the holidays, what do you think about?
Yeah, you guys brought up some great stuff there. Carl, I can remember that too as a little kid, watching the airplanes and with my folks, because we did not grow up with a lot of money and everything, and that was a great way to share that. And I kind of think of this is a great time. We talk about travel and adventure, and that was always something in our family. Living even farther up north than you did, that would be our time to get away, make an escape. When my daughter was growing up, that was always a great time of the year for us to go explore and find somewhere new, and just expand and share that with our family. So we've always had great memories of that with the holiday season and flying somewhere new and just discovering.
Cool. That's awesome. Thanks, Bill. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
And that, especially in the holiday season, just seeing someplace new and experiencing different people, et cetera. And I want to just add one more after we get to our next one, as far as what we think about during the holidays in aviation. And before we go to the next person, that's Chris Pizzala, I do want to say thanks to Chris for joining us today. Chris has been on before. He's an aviation attorney and also an airline pilot, and is also very passionate about aviation. So I really wanted to have him come on and talk a little bit about what he loves to do during the aviation period of the holidays. So Chris, what do you think of? First of all, thanks for coming on the show. And what do you think of as far as aviation and the holidays?
Oh, well, thank you. Well, as you know, I work for an airline, so I'm still learning this word holiday. I think I'm figuring it out. No, I kid. But, growing up as a kid, my family was spread out across the country. We would travel. And so I remember being a kid going through the Chicago airport in the Christmas and seeing the airport all lit up. And that was quite a sight coming through that main hall. And I think they still do that, which is really nice. And, of course, nowadays, I'm working for an airline, so still kind of spread out, so still traveling. But I can tell you, I've worked a lot of holidays, and people are really nice. I remember one Thanksgiving where every place we stopped, the crew came out, gave us food, chatted with us. It was really nice to see people come together, even though we've got to be at work.
Yeah, absolutely. That's, and that kind of leads into the next thing I wanted to say, Chris, is I remember during this holiday season, I can't remember what year it was, but it was maybe 15 years ago. And I wound up getting stuck in Rochester, New York. And it was Christmas Eve. Company calls me, says, "Hey, you were talking about holidays and flying on holidays. We need you to come in." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I got to go to work." Well, it turns out I go to Rochester. And I get to Rochester, and this is one of my favorite holiday stories. And just so happens I have family in a town called Greece. It's actually north of Rochester there. And I just, let me just reach out to them. So I just called them on the way there. I was going to the airport. I said, "Hey, I'm going to be in Rochester tonight. What are you guys up to?" He said, "You won't believe this, but, we have most of the family here and we're having a holiday party. Why don't you come over?" I mean, it was the best Christmas present ever. The fact that I actually got to go and see my family while I was in Rochester on an overnight. And this is the one thing I really remember. I go into the hotel, and the hotel is full of airline crews, and the crews are all sitting around the bar, and they're all eating dinner and stuff like that, talking to each other, and, and saying, "Oh man, I wish I was home for the holidays." And then I'm walking out the door, like, "Where are you going?" I said, "Well, my family actually lives here. I'm going to a holiday party." And they all look at me, and they're like, "Oh man." They were like, "I wish I was you. I wish I had that where I could actually go see my family." And that was a moment I realized how lucky I was that holiday, and what a gift that was during that holiday season. So that was kind of probably the best holiday story I ever had. And it was just so terrific to see them. And that's actually going to see them soon. So I'm pretty excited about that. But that was just wanted to put that little story in there before we get into actually our holiday gift giving guide and the different things that we have in our lists, and maybe even talk a little bit later about some other ones that we might put on here. But we've got a couple categories here, first of all, and moving on into the cruise flight. First of all, we're going to talk about experiences first, and then we're going to talk about fun gifts. And then we want to talk about gifts that make us better pilots, and us meaning the people we're giving the gift to. So that's something that I really, I'd love to kind of talk about, is what we can do to pay it forward as a gift as far as knowledge in aviation. So we're going to start there. So let's get started. Let's see, who's going to go first? I'm going to go first, actually, with experiences. And as far as the experiences that I think would be a great holiday gift is actually in not far from here, and that's with Patty Wagstaff. And Patty Wagstaff has a school, and you can actually go to that school and you can buy a gift certificate for somebody and get some type of aerobatic training. And she has all these amazing courses. And, you can do just a quick course. You can do a full course in aerobatics. But the wonderful thing about Patty is that she is such a great instructor. Right? She's great at aerobatic pilot, right? But she's an incredible instructor too. And everybody that I know has been through that school has actually said, "Hey, this is wonderful." But now you can actually buy a gift certificate. So you can go out there and do some flying with Patty Wagstaff. And that is just a terrific opportunity for someone. So as far as an experience, even if it's just 1 hour, it's a 10-hour course, or you wind up working with her and getting coached by Patty Wagstaff for a long time going forward, like a friend of mine wound up doing. And that actually would be the perfect gift for somebody. So if you're thinking about giving a gift, give a gift of flight instruction with Patty Wagstaff. I'm sure she'd appreciate it. So that actually is my first one right there as far as experiences. So Bill, let's move on to you. What experience do you have that you would share during the holidays?
So mine's similar too. Another training way to spread your wings would be a training session with TAC Aero. They are all over the country. Main location is Fredericksburg, Texas. They're in the Pacific Northwest, up in Idaho. They've opened up new locations in Maine and North Carolina, so they're all over the place. And with TAC Aero, you can go through different levels of tail dragger training, from introduction, you've never flown a tail dragger before, out to advanced courses, backcountry, off-airport flying. I did a course with them doing that last year, was terrific. They're expanding too. They've now got seaplane. They've got vintage aircraft, so you can learn all the nuances of flying a vintage aircraft in their Waco biplane. Just amazing experiences from these guys, and they live it. It is immersive training and very, very good if you want to expand that type of flying. TAC Aero, Fredericksburg, Texas, and really all over the country now.
Yeah, TAC Aero is actually everywhere. It's starting off there they're in the Carolinas.
Yeah,
Colorado, I know. It's I think up in Maine they started also.
They just started Maine and North Carolina. Probably some more now. And they'll also do custom things. If you have your own tail dragger, different type, they usually use carbon cubs. If you want to do something with your own aircraft, they'll come to you, or you can come to them and get customized training as well.
And what did you actually do while you were there?
So I did an advanced off-airport tail dragger course where we went operated off of ranches and sandbars, things like that.
Cool,
yeah,
awesome.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, that's a great experience.
Yeah.
That's a terrific experience. Well, thanks for that, Bill. Moving on to the next experience is going to be Chris. Chris, what's your experience as far as a holiday gift?
Well, I was hoping to make more of a splash, so I'm going to go with Kenmore Air out of Seattle. And I've not had a chance to fly with them yet. I'm really hoping to. But everyone I've spoken to who has flown with them has had a great experience. And going up in some of the vintage seaplanes, and they don't just do rides. Of course, they provide transportation and sightseeing, so they really do it all. And I think that would be a great opportunity for a pilot, or if you're looking for a gift for a pilot, or for me, I'm just saying, that would be a really good one.
Yeah, it's actually cool. Kenmore's been around for a long time. And, when you think about seaplanes and in the Northwest, you think about Kenmore Air. And some of the most beautiful places you can fly, I think, are like the San Juan Islands and even up in Canada, Vancouver, and that area. It's just so gorgeous. So I love that. Thanks for that one, Chris. So on the next one, on the holiday gift guide, as far as experiences, Leslie, what is your experience?
All right, before I get to my main experience, I just want to put one more plug in for those introductory flights or discovery flights. That makes an awesome gift for someone that's a friend or family member to get them started in aviation, or just to make sure it's something that they want to do. And that's usually a lower investment, usually between $99 to $200 or so. So a plug for that. But mine is the Buffalo Outdoor Center. And this is in the Upper Buffalo River Forest in Northwest Arkansas. It's Arkansas's premier wilderness resort. But don't get too scared by it, because it's like luxury out in the wilderness, but not too pricey. And so they've got a mountaintop grass field there. It's 1,300 feet long. It's east-west orientation. I believe the runways there are 10 and 28. It's, you fly in, I think it's 28, and then you depart on 10. So in and out, it's called Ponca International. The identifier is 37 Alpha Romeo. So they have a hangar there, and they've got multiple cabins. They have a couple of lodges, a lot of different activities that you can do there. But for pilots, it's only $259 a night, and they have a hangar there that has one of their kind of cabins in the back of it, built onto it, that has a king bed, full kitchen, living area, a nice bathroom, and it's very nicely equipped. Just kind of a small cabin out in the mountains, but very comfortable. And you get the hangar as a courtesy that's thrown in with it, and also a Jeep Wrangler to use while you're there, all for $259 a night. It's awesome. So during the months of March through June, you can do things outdoors like canoeing, kayaking, river rafting. They have a zip line course there. It takes about 2 hours to do it. Mountain biking, hiking. If you don't want to stay there overnight, you can fly in and enjoy some of the activities during the day. But I think that would be a great getaway for somebody, or maybe your spouse is a pilot and you want to surprise them with kind of a off the beaten path type of experience. And one more cool thing about it is this is an international dark sky resort, which means that it's designated as an area and as a resort that has exceptional darkness and starry skies, if you're into that.
That's cool. Get out the telescope, that's for sure. By the way, if you look at the pictures on the website, I wouldn't really call this glamping in any meaning of the word glamping, because this is truly a beautiful resort. We're talking marble countertops. The kitchen looks like almost like a Sub-Zero fridge. So even though it says backcountry, you're going to feel like, I think you're in a resort.
Yes, it is. It is amazing. And the views there, all of their cabins, maybe you don't want to stay in the pilot's quarters. That's the name of the place that you stay if you fly in and stay in the hangar, but they have multiple cabins. I don't know, like a dozen, 18 or so really nice cabins at all different price points. My cousin and his wife actually stayed there last weekend, and they had a fantastic time.
Cool. Great. That sounds like an awesome getaway. Not far from where you are, is it?
No, by plane, it's about a 30-minute flight.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to have to come in and you can fly me out there.
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. So thanks for that, Leslie. That was cool. All these great experiences out there. We also want to talk about some fun gifts, too, that we want to give to our friends out there that are aviators and maybe aviation enthusiasts. That's something that I want to kind of stress here is the fact that these people might want to get into aviation. We have a lot of listeners that fly for the airlines or into general aviation, or people that are general aviation pilots that are looking to get their pilot certificates finally, have done their discovery flights, or just people love airplanes. And one of the things I think that's really cool and fun gifts that I've found are awesome are gifts that aren't just practical, but also are artwork. And the thing that I love is what's called METAR maps. And METAR maps is the one that I have on the wall here. It's called METAR maps, metarmaps.com. And hopefully I'm not going to have an epic failure here when I try to do this. But here is my METAR map, which is of the United States. And what's really cool about this is that you can see throughout here, this is and I don't know if it's coming out in the video, it's a darker region and then the lighter region. The sun has already gone down over here. Green, of course, is for VFR. You also have some IFR and low IFR up into the northeast because of all those showers that we have right now. I'm giving a weather briefing, it looks like here. But that is just the coolest thing. And I'll tell you what happens. When people walk into my office and I show this to them, they don't want to leave. They see this thing and they're just like, this is so cool, but you get mesmerized by this. And it actually, I'm trying to pause a little here to see if it'll do it. It probably won't, but it actually sweeps through and updates itself, every 15 minutes. And you'll see like flashes for lightning. You'll see the lights go on and off very slowly. And that's telling you that there's a little bit of wind there. And it actually changed right away when the storm goes through, and that's like really cool, especially in Florida here. Well, you see that actually when the storms are moving through, that actually start going from green to red, and even throughout the Midwest and the Northeast. I was watching that today, so it's fun to watch the weather, but it's also fun to watch it as a piece of artwork. So it's something you can use practically. It's more so something as art. So METAR maps, you can get them at most air shows, and great people there. I'd have to say you're probably looking at about, I would say, weeks, 4 to 6 weeks to actually get one, especially during the holiday season. I know there's other ones out there, but they have some great customer service. You can also control your METAR map from far away. I forgot to turn mine off when I was gone, and it's hooked up to your internet, and you can actually turn the thing off. You can also make it show the temperatures instead of actually the METARs. So if you just want to have your friends in and show them the different colors as far as temperature, it's a lot of fun. So check it out, METAR maps. You can have them for different regions, airports, or the United States like I have there. So metarmaps.com is my fun gift. Moving on to the next fun gift is, Bill, what is your fun gift?
Well, my fun gift is aimed more at the younger crowd, and it's a book. We don't have Russ here today, so I'll have to pick up Russ's mantle with a book. And this one for the young folks, it's called How to Eat an Airplane. Loosely based on the possibly true story of Michel Lotito, who apparently in 1978 to 1980 ate an entire Cessna 150. The story's told there in the book. It's kind of funny, but they've turned this into just a very cute book about having a little dinner party and all the kids over, and how to drink the oil and eat the tires, and it shows the kids all the different parts of the airplane and how things go together. And, one of those, if you're not careful, you might learn something, kind of fun books, How to Eat an Airplane.
Awesome. That sounds cool. Gonna have to read that one. By the way, I forgot to mention that in the show notes and in the comments below on the video on YouTube, you can actually go ahead and click on some of the links, and we'll have them all there for you. So you don't have to write all these down, by the way, all these websites. But yeah, cool book. I'm going to see How to Eat an Airplane myself. I don't need to. I'm a little overweight, but just saying. Anyway, let's move on to the next gift. And that would be, Chris, what is a fun gift that you have?
Oh, well, since Bill's busy eating the airplanes, I was thinking about building them. More specifically, I think we've got a lot of young aviators, a lot of folks who might be interested in aircraft at a young age. So, of course, paper airplanes are a great way to go. And, you can only do so much with the usual paper. But when you get one of these paper airplane sets, it's basically a book with a guide. There's a lot of instructions and a lot of really cool ideas to try. And some of them are going to fly really well, and some of them are going to look like my flying. But I think on the whole, for the younger crowd, if you're looking for, you've got somebody who's maybe 10, 11, really looking to get into flying, this is a good starting point. Absolutely.
Also, I think that's a really cool publication. I've actually seen that. I've thought about getting it for myself, but I know someone who has. It's really a lot of fun. It's a blast for the little kid and the big kid. It's a good book, that's for sure. Great fun gift. So Leslie, what is your fun gift?
Well, I'm going to continue the theme with gifts for our future young aviators. And being a pretty new grandmother, and I've got a granddaughter who's almost 2 years old, and she is in this stage. Hopefully she'll never grow out of it. She is fascinated by airplanes. And that's one of our things. We'll pick her up from her little daycare down the road and take her to the Bentonville airport. And there's a playground there and walking trails and food trucks and pickleball courts and a lake you can fish in right underneath the approach into one of the runways. Anyway, so one of the gifts we're going to get her, don't tell her parents, is the Melissa and Doug Jet Pilot Dashboard. And this is a little bit of a pricier gift. It's kind of in the $75 to $100 range, but it's all made of wood. And you'll have to click on the link and look at it online because there is so much to do on it. It's a very interactive. There's a yoke, a throttle. There's a kind of a moving map that scrolls. There's 22 sounds, including tower communications on it. There's one feature where when you push the throttle forward, the little moving map starts going faster. So it looks like you're flying through the air. There's different light up dials. There's actually an altimeter, an airspeed indicator, a heading indicator, and an attitude indicator. I think there's those 4 of them out of the 6-pack. And it includes a headset and a cool thing, because we are world travelers. We love this. But there's a radio button, and you dial the button, and there's 6 different locations you can fly your airplane to. And when you click on that location, it says hello in 6 different languages based on the location and plays music from that country. So pretty cool. It's a lot of fun. I think Lele, that's my grandma name, Lele is going to have more fun with it than Kala, maybe.
Absolutely.
So it's the Melissa and Doug Jet Pilot Dashboard.
Wow. This is so cool. I am so getting this for maybe me, actually. I was trying to figure out as a kid I could say a name real quick, but I am putting this over here. This is so cool. When you were talking, I'm watching this thing, and it's like the background's really cool. The fact you can dial in different frequencies and have these different languages pop up, I think that's really neat. It's very realistic. I'm wondering if I could log time in that. It actually looks so realistic, but that is way too cool. I mean, would it be weird if I bought one of these? I think I'm definitely going to do this. Okay, it's in my cart. It's going.
I think you should have it sitting on the table at your booth at Sun and Fun this year.
That's a great idea. By
the
way,
kids
come
that
see
walk
us.
by.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Gosh, you're coming up with terrific ideas. We're
now
definitely going to have that there.
It.
Yes, it's on its way. I just hit send, and it's done. It's on its way. It says ages 3+, so that I'm in that category, right? 3+, 3 decades plus, 4, 5, 6 decades, whatever. But that is a really, really cool one. You got to check this out. Leslie, we'll definitely put a picture up on the YouTube if you want to see it. But that's a great one. Hats off to you on that one. Lots of fun gift for a kid. I didn't think mine was much for a kid, but these are just some great ones, guys.
Or for the kid at heart.
For the kid at heart. That's it. Kid at heart. That's what it is. It really is cool. You know what's funny? When I'm looking at this, all I was thinking about, I did a sim ride with TJ Shembekar from TJ's Flying Adventures, and I was kind of thinking about this. I wish I had that with me. I said, okay, TJ, this is what we're going to fly in today, and just see his reaction from that. I may actually bring that next time I do a sim demo. So that was a really, really cool one. I'm excited about this, as you can tell. Okay, let's move on before I embarrass myself. We're over that. Anyway, so let's move on to the gifts that make us better pilots. For those of us that love to stretch ourselves as far as our aviation knowledge and our skills, which we, who doesn't? This is going to be a lot of fun for us, not just us, but of course for giving it to somebody else. And one of the things that of course, me being an instructor and most of my instruction times in multi-engine airplanes, I really was thinking, gosh, what can I give to people that will really help them out? There was this one video I watched many, many years ago, and it's funny because the video hasn't really changed much. There's some additions there, but it's by King Schools, and it's their Cleared for Multi-Engines course. And this is my gift to make us better pilots. If you're thinking of becoming a better multi-engine pilot, I know this stuff is really old, some of these videos. It goes back to the airplanes that I used to fly when I was training, 30 some odd years ago, but it's still true today. And I still love watching the King videos. I know there's lots of other ones out there, and we really appreciate some of those, but this is a real cool video that you can actually watch now online. I still have my VHS version of it, and you can actually turn those in, by the way, and actually get a new copy. I don't know if they're still doing that, but they used to do that. So that's mine. King Schools, Clear for Multi-Engines. John and Martha King are just two wonderful people that love aviation, and they made a life of actually helping people and helping people kind of move forward in their training. And they really have some great advice and always have. Real mentors for me as being an instructor, especially still doing it to this day. So you can learn a lot, not just as somebody learning how to fly the multi-engine, but also somebody who's trying to teach people the multi-engine and going towards their rating, or just doing some recurrent training. So that's mine, kingschools.com, and it's cleared for multi-engines. So that's my gifts that make us better pilots. So Bill, what is the gift that would make us a better pilot?
I do have a good one, and I'll second that with the Kings. In fact, they are the ground school vendor for us at Big Red Flight School. We just a couple of our folks went on their flight training seminar cruise just last week that they did down in the Caribbean. So yep, John and Martha there with a whole lot of great folks. So yep, second that one. Mine's more on the looking back at your flying and your training, and it would be a subscription to CloudAhoy. CloudAhoy is a software that allows you to do a very, very detailed debrief of your flight. If you run usually ForeFlight or other products like that, export your flight just as a KML file like Google Earth, and it'll take apart all that data and do a real detailed analysis of your flight, showing whether it's instrument flight, VFR. It's very smart. It'll figure out if you're doing an instrument approach or what kind of maneuver you're doing, and actually give you scores on how well you perform that maneuver. And as an instructor, you can go in and tweak that, set your type of aircraft and everything, so you can have a very, very customized and detailed debrief. Great for people maybe working on those tricky commercial maneuvers or instrument approaches. Can really dig down very, very deep into what your flight did. Wow. CloudAhoy, it's not very much for a year subscription, so great tool for a student or an instructor.
Yeah, Bill, that's awesome. That's really come a long way. I haven't used CloudAhoy in forever, and you can integrate this with everything, it seems now. As a matter of fact, you can integrate it even with your flight simulator, and then put it onto ForeFlight, and that's really cool too. So you can take this just about anywhere, and I think the neat thing is sharing it. You can put it up on YouTube if you have video. I think it syncs with the video too. Don't know how that works, but I'm going to look into that. Yeah,
it will do that. Video, audio. It'll make a screen, so you can see, your instruments and all. It's really great.
Yeah, that is really, really cool. Awesome. CloudAhoy.com. Again, we'll have links in the show notes. Thanks for that, Bill. That's awesome. So, Chris, what is your gift to make us a better pilot?
Well, I was going to say, if it's making me a better pilot, it usually just helps to turn on the autopilot. It gets a lot smoother after that.
Doesn't it always?
But I'm going to recommend the old paper book. I know I'm showing my age now. But the FAA Handbook on Aeronautical Knowledge, this actually came out after I did my initial flight training, but I think it's a great book. I've got a copy myself, and it's good for new pilots, but also it's really good for experienced pilots, and I reread it myself every few years just to keep up with a lot of the things that I don't see every day, especially now that I'm doing the airline side. So you can do the paper version. I think that runs a little over $30. You can also download the PDFs for all the FAA handbooks for free, but if you're like me, you like the paper. So if you're looking to give a gift to someone who's getting into flying, already flying, a hard copy of the Aeronautical Knowledge might be a good way to go.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, that's a terrific choice. And hard copies are always great because you can write in the margins, you can highlight things. So terrific choice. And again, we'll have a link in the show notes for that one too. So Pilot's Handbook of Aeronautical Knowledge, it never gets old. And they constantly update it, and the pictures are so much better these days, that's for sure. So thanks for that, Chris. And Leslie, what is your gift to make us better pilots?
All right. So mine is not so much on the educational side, but maybe to help make you a safer pilot. And I do have a lot of parents of student pilots that come to me about this time of year and they ask, what should I get my son or my daughter for Christmas? We want to get them a really nice gift that's going to help them in their flying career or help them be a better pilot. And one of the things that they don't think about that I like to suggest is a personal locator beacon. And there's many of different styles and companies out there that sell them that are awesome. The one I personally use, and it's linked in the show notes, is ACR's ReQLink 400. So this is going to run you about $375, $400. So it's a major gift, but it could really save your life one day. And, my approach to flying, especially cross countries, is however many layers you can give yourself to help yourself be found should you get lost or should you get in an accident, in a wilderness area like we have here in Northwest Arkansas. So, filing that VFR flight plan, getting flight following as you're flying around, texting somebody, letting somebody know where you're at, but having that personal locator beacon that runs off the 406 megahertz signal, it could save your life one day. So this particular one has an LED, an infrared strobe attached to it. It's very lightweight. It's compact. Just be sure if you get one, you need to register it on the NOAA beacon registration site. So if you have a 406 megahertz ELT in your aircraft, then you probably already have an account with that registration. So you just add the device. It takes about 5 minutes. So I know this one works because one day one of my flight instructors took it out of the safe. I kept it in the safe at the hangar back in Hawaii, and they took it out one day. I didn't know he was borrowing it, which was fine, but he didn't know how to operate it. And they got halfway between Kakalui, Maui, and Honolulu over the water, and he opened it up and hit the power button. What he didn't know is he activated the SOS signal. And immediately I got a call from the Coast Guard asking, what's the problem? Where's the aircraft? Who's the pilot? So, they called within like 30 seconds of it being activated. It was awesome. Hats off to them. It works really, really well. So that's the ACR ReQLink 400 personal locator beacon.
Yeah, that's a testament right there to its effectiveness, right? Your experience right there. Well, that's terrific. That's a great tool, I tell you. Being able to be located is awesome. So that's our list here as the different things that make us better pilots, the fun gifts and also your experiences. But one of the things I want to do, and I'm going to throw this out there, and also the co-hosts don't know that I'm going to ask them this, so I'll start with mine after we have a message from our sponsor is, in your aviation life this holiday season, what are you most looking forward to? And what is the thing that you're most looking forward to this holiday season as far as aviation is concerned? But one of the things that I'm really looking forward to is seeing more and more people actually get up in the air and go fly. And one of the ways that they can do that is actually by getting a scholarship to fly. And this is for everybody in aviation, not just those people that want to go out there and do this as a career. People from all different walks of life, whether you're looking to get yourself a glider rating, a multi-engine rating, seaplane rating, you can do that by actually winning a scholarship where you may not have to pay for any of the training. And you can find that actually at stuckmicavcast.com/free and get one for free because our sponsor, who is Stratus Financial, is actually sponsoring free scholarships guides by using that coupon code Stratus, so you can get your scholarships guide for free. What that does, it gives you access to the scholarships guide that we have with there's over $120 million worth. There's over 1,400 pages of scholarships. And in that guide, you might find something that'll actually make you want to have one of these experiences, like with Patty Wagstaff. There's many different scholarships. I remember one of the scholarships recipients years ago that won one of those scholarships with Patty Wagstaff to go do a lesson. I thought that was one of the coolest things, which is one of the reasons that I put that right here in our list. But this Stratus Financial, they actually not just giving away scholarships, but they're helping people finance their dreams and their dreams of flight. So if you know someone who is wanting to do or want to become a pilot and become a pilot, not just airline pilots, but just maybe they want to be a flight instructor, they want to make some money, Stratus Financial can help them out. And they make that process of getting the loan and also working through the ratings easier because they speak our language and they are pilots. So go check them out at stratus.finance, that's Stratus Financial. They really do make dreams take flight, that's for sure. But one of the things that I've found is, by having these dreams take flight, we've actually pay it forward a lot of times. And the thing that I'm looking most forward to in this holiday season, as far as aviation is concerned, and this is going to sound corny, but it's one of the things that I love about my job, is Christmas. And the coolest thing about Christmas is I'm based in Orlando. So where's everybody going? They're going to Disney. And I'll get on an airplane and I'll look behind me and there's all these little heads bopping around. There's all sorts of kids everywhere. And I absolutely love the fact that their parents will come up and say, hey, can my child see the cockpit? I was like, sure, come on in. As a matter of fact, a lot of times I let them sit in the captain's seat. I go in the back, let mom and dad come up and get pictures taken. It's just so exciting to see people's not just first experience on airplanes, but just experiencing aviation in any manner. I mean, that's not just at the airline level, but also at the airport where, the flying Santas I talk about. You see people coming out and using their holiday gifts and having their first flight in an airplane. That's the thing that I'm most looking forward to this holiday season, as far as aviation is concerned, is being able to get in the flight deck and turning around and looking and seeing all the smiling faces going to Disney and also just excited to be on their first flight. And it really is cool. Like when I'm, in the middle of the flight and I look behind us, or I have to go out and the flight deck and use the lab, I look behind and I see the kids looking out the window, and some are mesmerized. And I kind of remember, when I was a kid looking out the window and how excited I was to be up in the air. And it reminds me of how I still am like that. So maybe that's why I like that. I'm not so sure, but maybe a little bit of me is reflected in those kids. But that's what I'm looking forward to this holiday season. So Leslie, I'm gonna start with you. What are you looking forward to this holiday season as far as aviation is concerned?
Well, as a flight instructor, I find that during the holiday season, at the time between Thanksgiving and a little bit after New Year's, we have our high school and college age students who are out of class for that time. And then also for our older students, for many of them, work kind of slows down. Maybe they're not necessarily off work, but it slows down for them. So it's a really good time to either get caught up on your ground school or to get some more flight hours in, build some more time, get a written test done. I've got one student who his goal is we're hoping that he solos before he goes off to Christmas break. And then over Christmas break, he's really going to drill in and get that written test passed, his private pilot written test passed. And I've got 2 more students that are going to use this time to get started with their training. So I see that year after year. And so that excites me as a flight instructor. And we always talk about the busyness of the holiday season. Yeah, there's a lot of Christmas parties and shopping to do and parades to go to, but people do kind of slow down, take a deep breath, and it's a great time to really work towards some of those goals that you have.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's terrific. It is kind of neat to see some of these people progressing, especially during the holiday season, but it's what's really cool too, you talked about students, is seeing your students during the holidays. And I don't know about you, but that happens to me. It's like I usually see my students during the holidays, and because they're home, and that's so exciting to kind of visit with them. So it just kind of made me think about that. But anyway, thanks for that, Leslie. So Chris, we're going to move on to you, our guest here, co-host for this show. So what are you most looking forward to this holiday season? What are you looking forward to as far as aviation is concerned?
Spending time on the ground.
That's an airline pilot thing.
It really is. So I'm in an unusual situation. I'm on the ground for the next 5 weeks.
Oh, wow.
I'm in training. I'm transitioning to a new aircraft, a much larger aircraft. So this is really exciting. But I need to stay in location to be in training. So on the one hand, it's going to be pretty busy in the holiday season with the training. But one, I've got some great coworkers, so I'm sure we're going to spend some time. And two, it's actually given me a chance to spend more time at home and just be in my own home and in the community. And so even though I'm busy with this training, I'm actually going to have more time to interact with my neighbors and with people that I'm still getting to know after 6 months. So I think that's actually going to be really cool to spend that time in one place for a change. That's not my usual nature, but I think it's going to be a cool experience.
Well, that's great. Thanks for that, Chris. And again, thanks for coming on. We really appreciate you being here today. Bill, what are you looking forward to this holiday season as far as aviation is concerned?
Well, as far as aviation, I'll be spending some time with some students as well and maybe broadening their horizons a little bit. We've talked about this on the show before that the day after Christmas here at Big Red Flight School, we always arrange a big caravan tour up through the New York City Hudson River corridor. Put together, we've had it as much as 30 airplanes. So something, an opportunity for people to get away from this lesson, learn this, learn that, and really do something with their flight training or their flying. We'll get together, muster up down here in Leesburg and head up to Bucolic, New Jersey. Line up there, and then we fly nose to tail. It's like the spacing is you'd go into Oshkosh, up the New York corridor, back again, and then stop somewhere on the way back home for a big late lunch with everybody together, and can all talk about. A lot of times, this is for folks. This is one of the most exciting cross countries they've ever been on, farthest, and going through the Hudson River corridor. It's beautiful. New York City's still all decorated up for Christmas at that time too. So an amazing sight and just a great experience for everybody to share, really share aviation with each other.
Yeah, well, that's a cool flight you guys do. I think that's awesome.
It's a lot of fun.
You're gonna bring a video camera. Hopefully, we can share that with us at some point. That's really cool. Okay. That's actually one of my favorite flights. Even if I'm in the simulator, it looks so cool when you're flying down the Hudson River, looking out the window.
Nighttime's amazing. If you ever get a chance to do that, that's my typical multi-engine cross country from the King Schools. Daytime up and nighttime back.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool. Yeah. Well, speaking of which, I'm looking forward to seeing all those lights from the air during the holiday season. You see all the cities all decorated in different colors. It's New York City, and even in Tampa they have that. So I really am looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing some of my friends, my flying friends. Hopefully, I'll be able to visit more during the holiday season. But what are you looking forward to this holiday season? Hopefully some of these gifts and the guide that we have here is kind of spurred your interest in some of the things that you might want to do, or the things you might want to give to your friends, your flying friends or potential flying friends, or people who are just interested in aviation. But I'd love to hear from you. Write us at stuckmicavcast@gmail.com and let us know, what it is that you want to do this holiday season. What are some of the things we could add to our list? What are some of the amazing stories that you have during the holiday season? But I really encourage you to go out there and do something just exciting with your aviation background, no matter what it is. If you're just starting out, maybe it's flying over snow for the first time and seeing the reflections. Whether you're an airline pilot, getting out into a small airplane and rediscovering that freedom of flight again. Whether it's that new person in your life, getting them a toy or something like that, the little simulator that I just bought, whatever it may be, I really encourage you to do something during this holiday season to really spur that interest both in yourself and in others. And I hope you have a wonderful holiday season, and we'll talk to you in the next episode. And safe flying out there.